Hi, I'm Margaret Wasik from the Golden Tone Technique, and a question that I get asked often by my students is, how do I revive an old piece that is filled with bad habits? To answer that question, we will look inside the science of computer programming to find the answer how we can reprogram our mind and fingers to have a fresh new start with an old piece. Probably you have seen these player piano mechanisms where you press a button and the piano starts playing without any person sitting there. The keys go up and down. Notice they never make a mistake. Why is that? Well, because it's computer programmed in such a way that it is pretty much flawless. Well, how can we as mere mortals have that sort of security that a player piano does? Well, it all has to do with the way that it's programmed. Here are the 5 steps to define the problem. Okay, so what is it that you want to troubleshoot? Let's take, for instance, this prelude in C minor from Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. Let's say you're used to playing it, where it's very uneven, too fast, rushed, and messy. Okay, so at least the first step is to know what the problem is. What do you want to improve? In this case, I will say, I want to improve the evenness, I want to improve the clarity, and I want to also improve the rhythm. Step 2, plan the solution. Okay, so now that I know what I want to troubleshoot, how will I go about it? Well, a good first step is to practice in different ways. Slowly, hands alone, taking it apart, noticing what key you're in, and being absolutely methodically focusing on what each finger is doing. In fact, a lot of this could be done away from the piano if you're studying only the harmonic blueprint of a piece, for instance. Another step is to prepare the piece with fingerings. Write in as many fingerings as you can. In a piece like this, I would even recommend writing in every single finger. Yes, there are a lot of repetitions, but it's worth it because at least you have a clear roadmap to follow. Okay, step 3, coding the problem. Okay, so now that is for a computer, but for a pianist, what that translates to is that create new tracks in our mind. In fact, it's a brand new relationship with the piece. So what that means is you have to cancel out any previous muscle memory that you might have had that is filled with those bad habits. We have to get rid of it. The only way is to reestablish a new relationship with the piece. So to do that, you must practice super slowly. Yes, I said super slow. A lot of times I say slow to my students, and so instead of playing, they play. And that's not much slower. By super slow, I mean listening to every interval, watching each finger, knowing the fingering, knowing what the changes of harmony will be, and reacting to those. So really what we're doing here is we are reprogramming our mind, our ear, and our finger by doing it very slowly. We're creating a brand new track, a brand new relationship to the piece. Okay, number 4, testing the program. All right, so you've done the hard work, you've played very slowly, you've canceled out the old habits, you've made new tracks, you've made a new relationship with this piece, one that's totally harmonized with your mind, your ears, your fingers, and your heart. And now it's time to test it by slowly increasing the tempo. I say slowly because you don't want to revert to old habits again. So by slowly increasing the speed, you maintain that integrated approach. So a bit faster, but listening to every interval, every finger is counting. It's really the best way to think about it is being in the moment, enjoying just that one moment where you're playing those tones together and really taking it in. And the last step, number 5, documenting the program. Okay, so now you've done all the prep work, you've played it very slowly, you've reconnected, made a new connection with the piece, and now you've practiced to go from super slow incrementally to performance tempo. Well, now it's time to actually test it. Now it's time to go and to perform it. Now, by performing doesn't mean that you need an audience. You can record yourself, and that's already putting it to the test because you want to try it out in conditions that are a little bit more stressful, right? So what, like the minute you put a recorder on, suddenly you feel responsible for it being a good result, right? So that's the way to test. Thanks for joining me today, and see you soon for a new tutorial.
La vérité est qu'il faut rêver ce dernier morceau, pas le jouer.